Welcome back to Once Upon a Time in the New Republic, a podcast where we normally talk about The Mandalorian.
What?
But today we're gonna throw out all that quality storytelling and we're gonna talk about the Rise of Skywalker. Yay!
The last of the Skywalker saga.
All right. Apparently,
Hopefully.
supposedly, probably not, but
Probably not.
So,
Ryan Johnson will give JJ the middle finger and be like, you know what?
you know
No.
what? I'm coming back and I'm doing 10.
10, 11, 12, bitches.
So, normally when we do The Mandalorian, I take copious amounts of detailed notes as I watch it back from the comfort of my couch. But as this movie is still in theaters, I did not do that. And I sat down after the fact, and I just kind of tried to hit the scenes. So I think I have most of the scenes in the film here, and a few notes for each one, but I'm going to rely on the rest of you to fill in blanks.
We got to pull our weight today, boys.
And I'm also going to rely on the rest of you to try to sell your enthusiasm for it, because it may be a difficult thing to do. First of all, we normally do this at the end, but I want letter grades from everybody.
Wait, are you saying that you're not enthused?
Hang
about
on,
it?
hang on.
Okay.
I want letter grades from everyone right from the get-go, because I don't want anyone, after someone else has made a point about something, going back and saying, well, I want your opinion right now before we've talked about it, because I know that it's been a big thing where we haven't talked about it in any settings before this, and we didn't. No one's
refrained from speaking about it.
Anytime
in public.
more than one of us were together in a room, we wouldn't talk with anyone else about it. So there's been a limited amount of discussion. So I want letter grades right off the bat.
Jack.
I'm gonna go B+ on it.
Let me write these down
Yes.
so I can bring it
Yeah.
up after the fact.
You
B+.
son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, Andrew and I saw it twice, and I feel like it definitely gets better with more viewings because it's a whole lot to take in the first time.
It does fucking fly, man. The pacing of this thing is just in your fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, letter grade?
Do it.
I'm gonna say
He's gonna be a
Man.
copycat.
no. You know what? I'll give it a solid B.
Andrew gives it a B.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Nate?
I feel like I'm going to give it the highest grade out of anyone. A-.
A minus, okay. I wish I could give it an S for stupid.
Oh.
Damn.
Because there's a lot of shit to hate in here. Now, if you do just sit down and let it fly at your face, and you stop for a second to notice the moments they put in that are supposed to make you go, oh, a moment, then yeah, you can walk out of there going, yeah, that's pretty good, yeah, all right. But if you stop for 1 second to think about any of it, you'll be like, man, what the fuck is this nonsense?
What were they smoking when they wrote this?
After 3 times of seeing,
Yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm very torn. You know,
Yeah, you want to love it.
I
don't
want to
you?
love it. Like the fanboy in me really wants to love it. And don't get me wrong, I was cheesing hard over the fan servicey things in the
Right.
movie. But yeah, starting to think about like the plot
Right.
and how the first half of it is just full of
It's-
things that you just have to accept.
It's kind of like they made it up as they went along.
Thanks a lot, Ryan Johnson.
Man, I'm just like, I don't know what I want to give it. I mean, I could be a real hard ass and just give it a D-, but
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know that it deserves that.
I
Because
mean,
see,
damn, did the music sound okay?
it was all right. I mean,
He was too busy acting this time. He didn't have time to compose.
I'll go C-.
Fair.
Okay.
I was right.
Now, I had this comparison in my head, but I didn't really pour over it to make it eloquent. But I'm really disappointed with this trilogy as a whole. Because I can break the Skywalker saga down into comparisons about life. Okay? Because
We're about to get deep here.
hang on, I'm really old, and so I lived these movies from the beginning. Okay? Now you guys are all prequel guys. Okay? Just because of when you were born.
Yeah.
So the original trilogy is childhood. Okay? Because everything's great, you believe it all, you accept it all, it's all perfect. If you do fill in the hole, they gave you just enough to where if you did fill in the holes, it's always awesome. Nothing contradicts, because that original trilogy, believe it or not, I mean, it wasn't all written down at once, but George Lucas had a plan. Okay? He had an arc. He knew where it was gonna go roundabout. So it wasn't that hard for him when it came time to do the pieces to do them and have it make sense. Okay? So the original trilogy is like your childhood. Everything's great. It's fucking awesome. You don't have any worries. You don't have any cares. It's fucking summer vacation and Christmas break all wrapped up into one. Okay? So then we've got the prequels. Okay? That's more like adolescence, like your teenage years. Okay? Because everybody's trying way too hard to be something they're not. And there's way too much shit going on, and you can't fucking keep track of anything. And it's just kind of a scatterbrained clusterfuck, and there is sort of a plan, but it's just everything's done wrong. Everything is done the wrong way, and you look back on it and you go, damn, I wish I could have. And that's why the prequels are your teen years. And this new trilogy is fucking adulthood, because I'll tell you what, this trilogy is when you get to the age, like when you think back into your childhood, the age that your parents were in your oldest memory of them, when you reach that age.
Oh, dog.
And you think, wow, I remember my parents at this age, and they seemed like they completely had everything together. Everything was fine. The world was perfect. They had all the answers and everything was great. But then when you get to be that age and you go, man, I don't know anything. And then you talk to your parents and they're like, no, we didn't fucking know either. And you're like, what? It was all just a fucking illusion? It was just a fucking joke? I mean, you guys didn't know what? It was all just a lie? That's what this trilogy is, because you watch it and you want it to be good. You know it's Star Wars. You see lightsabers. You see fucking X-Wings.
TIE fighters.
They threw Yoda in a movie, and you're like, you got John Williams for the whole thing. But you look at it, and there was no fucking plan. It was all just made up on the fucking spot, and you see through the holes, and you're like, this is crap. I was lied to the whole time. It's just, there is a man behind the curtain. Pay attention to that motherfucker, because he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, that's how I look at this trilogy as a whole.
That
all
man's
right.
name is Ryan Johnson.
Hang on a second now.
Uh-oh.
Before we hang Ryan Johnson from the tallest tree we can find.
Yeah, I'd like to say I did like The Last Jedi. I thought it was good.
I'm not. I mean, Ryan Johnson made a movie. He did what he wanted. He did what they allowed him to do. Okay, he got in there and he subverted expectations and he did some shit that was different. It's not what most people wanted, but he did it anyway. And Kathleen Kennedy was like super fucking thrilled about it, I guess, because like I said, she didn't say, hey, we've kind of got this thing going on, so you're going to do the second movie and you can write it, but you need to kind of stick to this beat, and you can't kill this person, and this person can't be a fucking asshole, and this guy can't, decide that he wants to be a dancer and give up being a Sith Lord. I mean, there should have been some stipulations, but apparently there was nothing, because he just did, and I feel like that, I'm not going to say robbed us of what JJ had planned. If JJ gave so much of a shit about it, he should have stayed around and done the rest of the fucking movies. Okay? But he didn't. He walked the fuck away to do what?
Nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what the
Nothing.
hell he did. But anyway, but when he did walk away, even if he did have a grand plan and he said, yeah, I set all this shit up in the first movie. It's all ready to go. There you go. I got to go do something else for 2 years or something. I don't know why, but... And then they brought Ryan in, and they didn't. I mean, maybe he scrapped it. Maybe he said fuck that. Maybe he was always the director on that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he took over from somebody else or anything like no. Okay.
No.
I guess I was thinking about the Lord and Miller thing. I knew people were getting fucking fired off Star Wars films left and right, and I didn't know if maybe he picked up somebody's pieces. But apparently he just came in and they were like, "Cool, do what you want. We don't have any, and even if he did turn in a first draft that was, it turns out Mace Windu's a hairdresser and Yoda's not really dead, and I don't know, but apparently nobody looked at the one he did turn in because they were completely cool with it, I guess. So, Ryan did what he did. And sure, it fucked some stuff up, but that's just because we expected things, And then now JJ comes back and there are some clear, when you watch The Last Jedi, because it changed a lot of the things you expected to happen because of Force Awakens. Everybody was like, "Oh, Rian Johnson clearly has a big fuck you hard on for J.J. Abrams for Force Awakens." He's like, "Fuck you, J.J." Blah blah blah. I don't know if that's super true. It seems that way because he changed so many of J.J.'s things. But in this movie, there are some clear fuck you, Rian Johnson moments. Okay.
Yes.
100%. Fuck Rian Johnson moments, and I'm like, damn, that's a little petty, but okay. Damn. So maybe it's true that JJ did have shit planned, and nobody, either Ryan came in and flexed his muscle and said, "I'm not fucking doing any of JJ's shit," and Kathleen went, "Okay," or Ryan came in and said, "Hey, is there anything from JJ I need to?" And she was like, "No, do what you want." I don't know what.
Either way, it's Kathleen's fault.
Either way, it just seems. Either way, there's just no plan. It's like they had no fucking. They're just like, do something.
Everyone's at fault.
And then we'll do something else. And then we'll do. Well, I think there's a lot of fucking stupid shit in this movie, but JJ was painted in the corner, and he came in and he put shit together best he could, and he got that. He squeezed that shit out. Okay.
Can only put so much lipstick on a pig.
And maybe Ryan had come in on Last Jedi and was like, "Well, I don't feel like. If you don't let me do what I want, I'm just telling this guy's story. Why the fuck isn't he here telling it? I want to do something else." So he did. I don't know. But it just backs up the whole fact that they didn't have a damn plan. And that's fucking stupid. The original trilogy had a plan. The prequels had a plan. We all knew where it was going to end up. Okay, yeah. It's not like it was like
you already had the ending written for you.
We knew the ending. Yeah, we knew. And so but this one just didn't have a plan, and I think that's its greatest fault is that there was nobody helming that ship, and it's just disappointing as fuck, man. The curtain has been pulled back. I've seen everybody running around backstage in the wrong costumes and motherfuckers with their heads on fire, punching themselves, trying to put the flames out. It's chaos because there was no plan. And it's just a fucking mess. And it's sad. And they should be embarrassed and ashamed of them fucking selves. Take a break, develop a plan, and then make some more Star Wars, okay? Because you're going to have to.
Take a break, give us more Mandalorian, and then make another Star Wars.
Right.
Damn, give us Kenobi, too.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's coming. And see, man, I'm just worried about that, too. What's he going to do?
Just give Johnny Favs a reign over Star Wars.
He does need to be the executive of Lucas.
Is it just going to be Ben Kenobi walking around sweeping his porch off every day on Tatooine? That's going to suck.
Slaughtering Jawas who come on his porch.
What's going to happen? What's he going to do?
Soga?
Anyway, okay, let's talk about this Rise of Skywalker shit, okay? So, opening crawl. Anybody want to talk about the opening crawl? I don't have it in front of me, and I really don't know much about what it says, other than when I read it, I thought it was stupid. Go ahead.
Me too.
This, in my opinion, is
worst opening crawl.
This is the worst opening crawl of any Star Wars movie.
It's like 3 paragraphs.
Yeah, but my biggest complaint...
Aren't they all like
hey,
3 paragraphs?
Was anybody's name capitalized?
Yes.
Come on. Well, then there you go. It's fine.
My biggest complaint was that... in the previous films, it gave you like a really good beat sheet of what's been going on. This is kind of like, very vague.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
because it says, yesterday, the Emperor released a mixtape. Let's see how everybody's freaking out.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's it.
and as I was reading this, I wasn't just reading it as a viewer. I heard the narrator from Clone Wars in my head, and
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
this is sad.
But Dad, speak.
Yes, but Dad, speak. The Rebel Alliance has been getting messages from. Yeah, it was like what the-
Palpatine has been Snapchatting like a 14-year-old girl.
yeah, it kind of pissed me off a little bit because, like I said, it felt like Clone Wars again, and I love Clone Wars, but don't get me wrong.
Damn, the first 30 seconds of the movie pissed you off.
Yes, they did. I love Clone Wars.
That's why I gave it an A-.
But this,
And this starts the tone.
this is movies, man. It shouldn't feel like the TV shows. The TV shows are their own entity.
Well, okay, you read into that. Okay. But the crawl was stupid. We
yeah,
can agree on
very
that.
vague.
poorly written.
Okay.
and very
dumb.
vague.
It was dumb.
I just I just thought it was like a whole bunch of shit that was just like, okay, like I guess I have to be okay with this now.
I think
Yeah.
they just
And-
wanted to write Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in bold letters at least once. They were like, let's make it this long, and then we'll put that name there, and then it'll confuse everybody.
So, it didn't really say anything about how much time's passed, did it?
No.
No.
Because I was wondering that before. I think in one of the Mandalorian episodes afterwards, we speculated about this movie, and I brought up whether or not there was going to be a sizable time jump, and really I can't tell. I can't tell if it's been 6 months, 2 years. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, we know that Rey's been training with Leia, so it's not like that was only like a week. It's been going for a while.
They had time to repair a Kyber crystal.
We had time to build that sweet new base in the middle of the fucking forest, wherever the hell they are. It's just a bunch of tents and shit. They don't even have like a hangar anymore. It's just trees. They're like Robin Hood's merry men sleeping in the fucking woods.
They're a MASH unit.
Yeah, basically.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there
they all
one ship
sleep
that was
in their
like
ship.
disguised as part of like a cliff, so then when it took off, it was like a big old chunk of the cliff was gone? I was like,
I don't know.
damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So, okay. So we get the crawl, and then Starfield, and it comes down. And what's the first thing we see? Mustafar? The
Yeah.
planet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we get like this montage-y thing of Kylo Ren killing unnamed people
Little frog
In
looking
Somebody-
slow-mo.
in
beings.
slow-mo. Yeah.
Is this the first time we got slow-mo in a Star Wars movie?
There might have been some slow mo in 8.
There might have been some... Was
7.
there a little bit of slow-mo when Luke was talking about almost killing Kylo when he was a boy or in the thing? I don't know. I don't know. I can't recall a whole lot of flashback.
Wait, what are we talking
Or
about?
slow motion.
Oh.
The first slow motion thing. But it's just like a little montage of him and some stormtroopers fighting whoever the hell.
I read something that said those inhabitants of Mustafar are Vader worshippers. Who I guess there like was an indigenous people like, and then because Darth Vader's base was on Mustafar, so they just kind of were like his followers, and they were the ones there protecting his
His
Wayfinder.
stuff. So when
Yeah,
Kylo
'cause-
came, they didn't care it was his grandson, and he was like, "Hey, I'm
guess
okay,
not.
fuck you guys then. I'm just gonna kill all of you." Okay. Yeah, because I was like, surely that's Vader's Wayfinder, right? He had one,
Yeah.
and the Emperor had one. What was that?
Oh, well, I can say it now. I was like, something I wanted to mention. Yeah, I thought it was super awesome how they made a point to say only 2 Wayfinders were made. Yeah, Lando says it because that's like a callback to episode 1 when at the end of it they're like, always 2 there are, a master and an apprentice for the Sith.
So I guess, the Emperor had one and Vader had one, so they could find that stupid planet that we'll get to a little bit later.
To be honest, I wish the Wayfinder was actually like a holocron,
I
because
wanted it
as
to
soon
be
as he pulled
so
it out, I
bad.
was like, dude, that's a fucking holocron,
That's what I
man. He's
said.
gonna open it up and learn some shit. But no, it's
No.
a fucking GPS.
It's just an old TomTom.
I mean, yeah, it's
Old Imperial TomTom.
yeah. That sucks.
Turn
'cause
left
you could
at the second moon of Endor.
You could have been like, oh well, the holocron will just tell me how to get there. Like what the fuck is this?
Dave Filoni said, "Nope, you ain't touching my stuff. No,
Yeah.
no, fuck off. No, it's mine."
Yeah, JJ's just reaching
Yeah.
across the table towards some Clone Wars.
we're all
Smacks his
one big Lucasfilm family, right? Nope. Hands off my holocron, bitch. Way to go, Dave. Yeah, so I guess he was there because now, yeah, how did he figure out that Vader had one? Did he just figure, I'll go check Grandpa's house?
He touched Vader's mask and said, "Hey, buddy, do you have
Palpatine probably told him,
hey, do you have a wayfinder I could borrow, bro?"
You got a map or something? So anyway, I guess he got
Can you
it.
turn on GPS?
It looked like it was in like a little suitcase or something, and I didn't really notice if there was like a symbol or something on it or anything.
There was a weird Mercedes-looking thing.
Well,
but-
that's the
That's supposed to be the Sith logo,
symbol,
right?
or a symbol of a Sith loyalist,
yeah.
or something
Okay.
like that.
We get that later on Ochi's Mercedes that they find in the cave.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mercedes.
so he finds the Sith way. I almost called it holocron, the Wayfinder, and he plugs it into his dashboard, and Apple Play picks it up, gets it Bluetooth connected,
Turn left at Tatooine.
and so he takes off to this other fucking planet, Exegol. That's a good name, yeah. And so shit's just flying by. This is like 2 minutes into the film, okay?
Yeah.
He's already killed everyone on Mustafar. He got Darth Vader's GPS out of his Pelican case.
And now he's going.
And
And
now
now
he's on the
he's
Sith super
going.
planet.
Right. So now he goes to this.
And you just have to be okay
Hey,
with
you
it.
can fast travel in this movie.
yeah.
Wait, he did this all in one day? Well, I guess you could fast travel. He killed all his enemies.
Well, hang on now. Okay, so you said something about a day. Hang on, we'll get to that. So he gets to Exegol, and the scariest planet imaginable, and he lands and goes underneath this big thing. I thought that was that's kind of a Clone Wars-y thing, wasn't there? Like a Sith temple kind of thing where they walked under it, and there was like
in
no
Rebels.
door,
Yeah.
and it looked like it was kind of floating. That
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of that. And then he goes down the elevator.
I'm gonna look up something. Continue.
Okay, so he goes down the elevator, and he gets in Grandpa's basement. No, that's not Grandpa's basement. This is Palpatine's basement.
This would be uncle, a great uncle.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, how exactly is Palps resurrected?
Dude, I've heard
they
some
ever-
theories about
They don't
this.
say it in the movie how he managed to
No,
either stay
they
alive
guess.
or resurrect himself.
What's
Mace Windu's dead body was down there. It still had some midichlorians, so they just kind of fed off.
Mary
of that.
Doc Brandybuck speculates that it was Sith magic, cloning, dark rituals, shit like that. But he's just spitballing, he's just reading off a Wikipedia page. He doesn't really know. He's just throwing shit out there.
Maybe the Mandalorian will be tied in. And
No, shut up.
I asked my buddy Kyle about it. Shout out to Kyle. He was like in some of the books, the Emperor,
Which books?
like
The Star Wars books.
No.
some of the newer ones.
Okay,
the Disney
now
ones.
hang on, because like all that EU shit doesn't count. But since The Force Awakens was announced and shit, there's been all these books that are titled Aftermath. There's a bunch of them. I have one of them, but those are all canon, and a lot of those deal with people like Poe and Hux and all these other motherfuckers they're part of it. So I just wondered if it was something from an Aftermath book, because that shit would count. If they say anything in there, that's supposed to be canon.
He just said one of the newer books.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure.
I got like the first one that came out because I was like, ooh, damn, books about this shit. Cool, I need to know what the fuck's going on, because I read all the prequel books because they released the books before the movies came out. I'm pretty sure. Felt like it. But before I went and saw them. But I read the novelizations because a lot of times in there you get shit where, I mean, you can see a character on the screen run down a hall and stop with a blaster in their hand and look and kind of, don't say anything, and then they take off. But in the book, you get what they're thinking and shit like that, and you get a lot more information, especially in those prequel books. But anyway, I digress.
But anyway, Kyle.
So what did Kyle say? Yeah.
He said that Palpatine kept making clones of himself. That way, every
Right.
time he died, he would transfer his soul
Right.
into one of these clones
So-
and keep coming back.
And that makes sense because, so like, the Palpatine you see in like Phantom Menace, the Palpatine you see through the prequels, the Palpatine that Vader throws off the fucking thing in Jedi, those were all clones. The one we see in Rise of Skywalker is the original real Palpatine. That's why he's all craggly and shit, because he's like thousands of years old or some shit. So like all the other ones we've seen have been clones that he made to go out and do that he like puppeteered or whatever, I guess. So yeah, that's one of the reasonings I heard somebody say. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, and that makes sense because if we're supposed to believe this is the Palpatine from the Death Star and somehow he survived, how the fuck did he get back to Exegol?
Yeah.
You know,
Very carefully.
So you think he's always been on Exegol?
Yeah, that's a thousands of year old Palpatine who's been pulling the strings and puppeteering clones out there in the world,
so since
doing shit since the beginning,
the entire saga.
I said Phantom Menace, didn't I, Jack?
You did.
Yeah.
It's just like all setting in. I'm like,
yeah,
what the?
Those
fuck?
have all been puppets. Because we get down there and we find out he made fucking Snoke too. Snoke was just a puppet.
Yeah, because you see the Snoke
the first
embryo.
fucking Ryan Johnson of the movie.
We see where he's growing a couple of them in a tube. I mean, why? What do you need to grow some more for? Kylo Ren already killed Snoke, so if he saw another one, he'd be like, "Hey, what the hell?"
Well, they shut
down the Snoke program.
They have a shelf life.
Yeah. So
it's like all the infinite Ricks.
So if Palpatine made Snoke, why the fuck did he make him so goofy looking?
Because he could.
Does he have like an interesting backstory or something? And he was like, well, I'm not going to make him a, if Palpatine was smart, he would have made him a hot girl. And that way she could have, really took over and influenced Kylo Ren. You want to influence a teenage boy, make it a hot girl. Didn't everybody see that? What was that?
Damn. I wonder what the First Order's policy about dating your employees is.
No, well,
as long as you sign a like a little agreement with HR, you're fine.
Damn, Jack, in your corporate life. So, okay, yeah. So, Palpatine was also all the voices that he heard. So, every time he was touching Vader's mask and thought he was talking to his grandpappy, it was actually Palpatine fucking with him, okay?
Didn't you
That's
also hear
fuck you
Han Solo's
to,
voice?
No, I don't think so.
Who was the first voice?
Snoke, then
Snoke.
Vader, then Emperor.
Snoke, then Vader.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I just hadn't heard Snoke's voice in a while.
Yeah.
Forgot it.
Forgettable. And Andy Serkis is credited in the credits as Snoke, so
okay.
that was Snoke's voice. Yeah. So and Kylo's like, well, I'm here and I'm gonna kill you now, and he's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Died before.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that shit. Let me tell you, I got a sweet deal for you, sonny boy.
Yeah.
And so
pull up a chair.
So this is the part where he pulls 10,000 Star Destroyers out of the ground, right?
Yeah.
The base boost.
I did kind of think it was, I don't know, I thought it was interesting because it was something, in my opinion, they haven't really attempted before, maybe slightly in the prequels, but they made it kind of like really dark and kind of like a hint of horror-y.
They were.
Like when he was like they were doing that little exchange, and then
Suspense.
Kylo said, "What could I possibly get from you?" And then it's like quiet, and then he goes, "Everything." And then like I don't know if there's like thunder or something.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, "Ooh, that's different."
Yeah. That did seem like it was guest directed by somebody else. That whole sequence.
Yeah.
This is like the first instance. Well, I don't know if I say the first instance, but this whole thing seems like it was just. This would look really cool. That's they put
the
it
lighting. Yeah,
they,
the lighting
no.
effect on the...
No. They put it on a whiteboard and they were like, we need something that looks cool. Well, what if 1,000 Star Destroyers come out of the ground?
Genius.
Dude, that fucking kicks ass. That will blow everyone away. Yeah, but why would the Star Destroyers be underground?
Dude.
Well, it'll look just really cool when they come up. I mean, they could like bust through ice or something. It just has.
It's like, how do you have all the people to operate those?
So they
Star
built them and then they buried them, or did
Well,
they like dig
built
tunnels?
them, employed them, and then buried
Did
them.
they dig caverns shaped like a Star Destroyer, and then they built it inside of the cavern? And that must have taken years. Did somebody
models
not
that
say, "What the
poured
fuck are
in."
we doing this down here for?" Well, it's a lightning storm up there. We don't want, So that's this movie's just full of shit that somebody said that would look really cool. Yeah, but when you think about it, it's kind of fucking stupid, isn't it? Yeah, but it'll look really cool. Yeah. So all these people are working and living on these Star Destroyers that are under the ground.
And nobody knew about it.
No one knew about it. Who are these fucking people?
No one noticed all of these people just...
How many people you think it takes to man a Star Destroyer?
A fuck ton.
I mean, how just let's all just guess.
So that's a fuck ton to the funk ton.
1,000? 5,000? How many people are on a Star Destroyer?
I'm going to say at least like 2,500.
Oh, God, more than that.
I mean...
This thing is fucking huge.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I wonder if it's like the USS Enterprise where tourists can just kind of like rent a guest room or something like that.
I don't know. It would probably be interesting to look up what like a modern nuclear aircraft carrier, how many personnel are on one of those fucking things, and we could just assume that it's comparable.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of them now are like remote controlled almost.
No. Those things like floating cities. I mean, they gotta have power. They gotta have utilities. You gotta have a huge janitorial staff. You gotta have fucking, what?
Before I hit enter on Google, will I get put on a blacklist for
No, fuck, just Jesus Christ.
6,000 personnel?
There's 6,000 people on an aircraft carrier. Now, a fucking Star Destroyer's got to be bigger than an aircraft carrier, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I mean,
so my
come on.
2,500 is squashed.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll just be kind and we'll say
Yeah.
5,000. Okay, so then there's
Oh, man.
there's
I
a
think-
thousand Star Destroyers. That's like 5 million people right there, right?
Yeah.
Well, where do you get those people?
Who are these people?
And who are all the fucking choir members in the black robes and shit?
See, somebody said that that's like
I
you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let him say it.
I think it's like the older generations of the Sith. Like how you have Force ghosts.
Right, they're like
Who
Force
are all
ghosts.
Jedi. But this is like, and it's, that whole scene was like very ritually.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just felt like, it was like part of the ritual. All the ghosts of the like past Sith masters are.
Well,
you
because
know.
like
And like he makes a big deal about when Rey's there,
Right.
and he's all like all of the generations of the Sith are gonna be inside of you, and I just assumed that's like what that was.
Because, like, when you get the close-ups of, like, the Snoke growing tank and the Emperor's around that corner and you got the lightning and the crazy, your horror movie kind of shit, they show one of those people that's attending to him. They got black robes and shit, but it looked like their face was completely covered with, like, fabric and shit. I'm like, how can they see what button they're pushing? What the... I mean, it looks really cool. But functionally, how's that bitch able to do anything if she got fucking fabric over her face? Ooh, well, now, see, if she's like a Sith ghost, that makes a little more sense. But I'm just... anyway, let's get the hell off of Exegol. So he's like, okay, go find the girl and kill her, and I'll give you everything, and you can rule the galaxy. And he's like, cool.
Fuck yeah. Count me in.
Yeah, whatever. So then we get...
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Then we...
You started it.
Then we get our first hero scene, okay? So we see the Falcon, and everybody's on this motherfucker.
Except Rey.
Except Rey. Yeah, that's fine. And so they're going somewhere to get some information from somebody. They're going to a big iceberg to get information.
From this is from the rat, right? The Imperial rat or whatever.
No.
Well, this is like a middleman.
This is a guy who tells
Yeah.
them there's a spy
Yeah.
that gave them some information.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and we get our first shot of the 7-foot slug, Claude.
Hey.
That's his actual name.
Yeah.
Now,
His voice is really weird.
his
too.
backstory is that he's supposed to be a mechanic, and I'm like, how the fuck does he work on anything? He doesn't have any arms.
He's got these
He's
tiny
got
little
those feet.
tendrils.
They're on the ground. His feet are on the ground.
When like Finn just passed and was like, oh hey, whatever, hey dude, that
Hey, you got
everybody has
Hope
known.
you got that thing fixed, Claude.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
like, hey, random alien that everybody has known for fucking ever.
And
And it reminded me of that Rick and Morty thing where they were all like,
Noob.
Yeah, it's like a random person pops up and they're like, oh yeah, you, Yeah, the thing where they're like infested with the alien
Where
parasite.
Beth
Yeah.
shoots Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yeah, but
It's like, we've known you our whole lives.
I want to say he makes a goofy noise like Finn goes, "Boy, I sure hope you got that thing fixed, Claude." And Claude goes,
He does.
"Oh God, oh jeez, Finn, I don't know."
He should have just spit on it and it fixes it. That's how he's a mechanic.
Poe's getting us into something again.
Yeah.
Bing, boing.
So I don't know. It seems like the Falcon's all fucked up, and I don't know why. Maybe it ties into a comic book or something. Maybe they just come from a battle or some shit
Poe
like that.
Dameron's ass. That's why the Falcon's all
Yeah,
fucked up.
I guess. But like everybody's fixing something. Claude's trying to fix some shit.
Chewie's
You go into
fixing
the
stuff.
cockpit and C-3PO's like, I don't know how the fuck this shit. Oh, maybe that's later on when he doesn't have his memory.
No, it's this one.
Yeah. And then he has to do it again when he's
Because he's fixing something. I want to say he says something snarky there, but I can't remember what it is. But later on, he's like, "If every day is like this for you people, I don't see how you can fucking function. This shit's madness." I can't remember if there's a good C-3PO moment on the Falcon at this first scene. Damn, that sucks because he's delightful. This for
And see, y'all were
90%.
shit talking C-3PO.
Look, C-3PO has been
a
a pompous, snotty asshole the entire saga, but this fucking movie, man, he's delightful the
I do
entire
love
film. I hate C-3PO, but when I saw this movie, every time he's on screen, I was laughing. I was like, I love this guy. I think it was to make him endearing before they kill him. I think that's what it was. It was supposed to make you really feel something when he
Thanks,
sacrifices
JJ.
himself, you know.
And then he went back to being kind of pompous.
But, you know, he's like just super charming this whole beginning of the movie. Okay, so they show up at the iceberg and they talk to Mark Hamill, who's inhabiting a slimy guy with fucking tentacles on his face or some bullshit. They look like soft horns. I don't know. But anyway, he's like a Scottish alien or some shit. And, he sends down a cable that they plug into R2. He couldn't just tell him some shit. He had to upload a PDF or something. And
And download
So-
Dropbox, and then I'll send you the
they
file.
don't
your
upload it to
email.
the Falcon where somebody could maybe like read it on a computer screen or something. No, they give it to R2. Okay, fuck. So
Then they have to plug R2 into a computer.
well,
and
yeah, but they can do that later. So they get the download, and he sends the thing back up, and they're all like, "Come on, come on, come on!" And he unplugs it, and he's like, "Oh, we got it!" And he throws the thing up, and then he stands there and chats with the guy.
Yeah.
How do we ever thank you?
Hey, what can we do for you now?
Win
Is there
the
anything?
war.
Win the war. Fuck off and win the war. Yeah. So then they take off and they get chased by TIE fighters and they so you got Chewie and Poe flying and Finn's back in the gunner's seat and it's all familiar and stuff and
I
it's
love
kind of
Get cocky,
cool and
kid.
I love when he goes down the ladder to get in the pilot's near the gunner's seat. How he just looks so confident now. He's
Yeah.
just like,
well,
Puts on
yeah,
the
it's an
helmet and
evolution
spins
kind
in,
of
he's
thing.
like, I got this.
So
hell yeah.
So right now, I just want to say this whole I don't know what this shit with Kylo Ren at the beginning and the Emperor at the beginning of the movie was because it's just
yeah, whatever.
But this whole part of the beginning up until they get on the Falcon to go to the Burning Man festival, that all feels like it was like JJ sat down, cracked his knuckles, pulled out a fucking fresh notebook, and got to work, and he was on a roll, and he was just flying, and everything was gelling and meshing, and it was fucking awesome and stuff, until he got to the Burning Man thing. And that's when it starts to get weird, because you got to start putting in this supposed shit, and okay, now, you're just going to have to fucking believe me when I tell you that this is what happened, and this, shit starts to get far-fetched. But up to that point, it was like, yeah, man, this is, it's going good. It's flowing good. The characters all have pretty good banter. There's funny stuff. It's a right balance of funny stuff and the characters and blah, blah, blah. But then it kind of goes off the rails, and JJ looked at his watch and was like, oh, shit, we've only got, we're on a time schedule here. Everybody get in the room. Come on. Okay, what should happen next? And everybody just started throwing
Lando.
shit at him, and it was just starts to get fucking weird, okay?
Like, somebody call Billy D. Williams, see if he's okay.
No, I'm not blaming this on Lando. I'm just saying that's kind of the part of the movie where shit starts to get interjected, okay? And it gets fucking
That whole
weird.
scene was weird.
I'm not there yet, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So they get the info and they take off. And there's a bunch of TIE fighters after him. They're shooting him and stuff, but they want to get away. So Poe does this fucking light speed skipping shit, which is pretty cool.
Finn keeps asking him, "How the hell do you know how to do that?"
Yeah, I thought it
From
was
being a
pretty
space
cool,
runner.
especially in the Falcon, because I was like, that's kind of some Han Solo shit,
Right.
And I like how Chewie's yelling at Poe.
Yeah.
I know Finn's not. I know Rey's not here.
Yeah, because
What the fuck?
Chewie's like, Ray's much better than at this than you are.
But
She's
Rey's
not
not
here.
here.
So I want to get this on DVD, Blu-ray for sure, because when they skip and it looks like they're on Coruscant, does it
There's
not look
mirroring.
like there's a mirror? Yeah, I was like, that dude, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah.
It just whizzes by so damn fast.
It
I was
was
like, what
like
the hell am I seeing?
Doctor Strange or some shit.
Yeah,
It was
it
weird.
was really
It's
weird.
where Superman trapped the villains. In,
Yeah, it's the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then apparently they get back, okay, to the base.
The whole
Now-
thing's on fire.
Yeah, well, hang on.
We're not there yet?
So we jump to the jungle planet, the forests of Northern California, where the rebels are now the resistance. Resistance is now camped out,
And growing weed. It's
and
California.
so apparently Rey is. I guess it starts with. No, because she tells Leia, "I'm gonna go do the training course."
Rey's meditating.
She's
be
She's
with me.
meditating with the
Be with
rocks.
me.
That's
Be
right.
with
She's
me.
doing this. Yeah, so she's trying
They're
to
not with me.
talk. She's trying to talk to the spirits of the dead Jedi.
Yeah. She's
Well,
trying to talk to Luke.
So,
I don't
and I'm
think she knew they were dead Jedi. She was just trying to get back whoever was in her head when she touched the lightsaber.
one. I
Because
mean,
because
I thought she was trying, like
That's what I got.
like
too.
when
I
we
got the
find out that
impression-
Leia's been training her, because then we find out that Leia's fully trained.
yeah.
I'm thinking she's trying to do something, because she goes to her and she says, "Oh, I can't. They're not. I
Be
can't talk
patient.
to him." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you'll be able to. Don't worry
Well,
about
I thought I could have sworn she said something like, I wasn't able to hear the voices
Right.
that came to me before or something like that.
Okay. So, well, yeah, because before when she had the Force flashback, she heard Obi-Wan and she heard.
But she didn't know who
Well,
Obi-Wan
that's why she
was
says
or-
the voices that came before. But
Well,
it was
yeah.
still
Okay. Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking that maybe they were trying to imply that she's full of self-doubt, and that's why she's supposed to have this struggle. Like, maybe I am bad. Maybe I should go down to the DMV and get my driver's license changed to Ray Palpatine. Because she's supposed to feel all so uncertain about, it didn't work for me, and it didn't. Maybe I am bad. Maybe but they didn't do a very good job of it. So yeah, so it's just like, I couldn't talk to the Jedi's. Well, keep trying, and that's all it was.
You'll get it tomorrow.
I'd just like to say they did a really good job using the unused footage of Leia.
Well, they did what they could. I mean, they had a couple of throwaway lines and shit, and they managed to fit them in somehow.
Even like the close-ups of her hands and all that.
That was
where she's
probably
holding the lightsaber again. The repaired
Yeah, that was
lightsaber.
probably a stand-in.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the makeup was really good. You couldn't even really tell, but every time we do see Carrie Fisher on screen, it's it always makes sense.
It didn't seem like
somehow.
she had floaty head syndrome or
No,
anything like they
not
put
at
her on
all.
a different set. You couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have like digitally put a different outfit on her, but
Could you believe they found that whole scene that George Lucas made from the original trilogy?
with young Mark Hamill and young Carrie
Holy
Fisher sword
shit.
fighting and the fucking
That
it was
was
amazing, wasn't it?
that
That
was
looked
actually
really good.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I did. I really liked that.
Um,
I thought it was badass.
That was a big jump ahead, but
Yeah. Anyway, so she calls Leia Master and she says, "I'm gonna go run the training course," which is kind of stupid because how realistic is it to test your reflexes and shit if you're doing a training course that you've already run before? Anyway,
maybe she does it in a
that's
different
all. That's
order
all
every
pre-set
day.
up. Oh, so there's a team of people who go out and move all the obstacles and shit. So how does she know which way to run to the obstacle if she doesn't know?
The
where?
entrance
Force.
is the same.
Anyway, yeah, the Force tells her, "Hey, go around this corner and fucking do this thing." So anyway, so she's fighting with the remote and stuff, and so is this the point where
Kylo
touches Vader's helmet because he gets back from Palpatine telling him, "Oh, that was all me, motherfucker. You ain't never, And
You've
so I
been
guess
lied to
he
your
put,
whole life.
so I guess he puts his hand on the helmet to see to try to connect, and nothing happens. But I guess him pushing his force dick out there for anybody to look at. I guess Rey gets a hint of it, and so that's how they kind of connect at that moment, and she breaks her concentration or something.
I thought he was intentionally trying to connect to her, and I thought
through Vader's mask.
Well, I don't know why he touched his mask, but I just after he did that, that's when the droid started to
go haywire.
And actually shoot her, and then that's what triggered her.
I thought she was getting shot because she wasn't concentrating. And it's supposed to be shooting her, and she's supposed to be blocking it and shit, but she couldn't concentrate anymore, so that's why it was hitting her and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think it was Kylo shooting her with the droid.
I was just focusing more on I thought of it as he was trying to get her the anger out of her.
No, I felt like he was trying to because I think that he went back there and tried to reach out through the Force, touching the helmet to see, because Palpatine was like, no, all the voices you've heard, that's me. So I think he probably went back for one try to be like, let me see. We'll see. And he touched it to see if he could commune with Vader, and there wasn't anything around it. But him pushing his energy out there or something, maybe it connected to her somehow. I don't know. But anyway, so that messes up her training.
The fact that they can talk to each other was set up in 8, right?
Yeah.
Rian Johnson makes some no, because Snoke says he did that. Remember?
Yeah, but they established that Rey and Kylo can talk in 8, right?
At first they make it look like they have some bond or something. What's this? How can they talk like they're in the same room, but they only see their own environment? And blah, blah. And then at the end, Snoke's like, oh, no, I did that shit. I opened the fucking bridge between the two of you, blah, 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 blah.
So
but then in this movie, we find out, oh, no, there's some natural connection. They're a dyad in the Force. And fuck. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. You guys just make up your fucking mind, all right? You give it to us in a way that it seems natural, like it's some new thing, but then, oh, no, Snoke said he did it. But now we find out Snoke was just fucking fake, and it was really Palpatine. No, but there's a natural connection for some fucking reason. Shut the hell up, man. See, it's just a big fucking, it's a big
clusterfuck.
It's a big model of a bridge that's held together with fucking Band-Aids and gum. It's when you think about it too much, it just falls the fuck apart, okay?
And then Mando puts it back up and hits
he pounds it with his hand, and it's all good. Okay.
You got a little Yodi by his side and a little Mandalorian armor too.
So the Falcon gets back about this time, about all this shit with Rey and Laser Master, and she runs around and blah, 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 blah. The Falcon comes back, and it's on fire.
It's all on fire.
It's all fucked up. So
is BB-8.
So here's a little bit. Oh yeah, she drops a tree on BB-8, and he's like,
she's like,
help!
Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. It's a fucking robot. Okay, shut up. Oh Jesus. Anyway, so the Falcon gets back, and now they walk off of the ship, and they give us this back and forth between Poe and Rey. He's bitching about BB-8, and she's bitching about the Falcon. Like Han's ship. She keeps calling it Han's ship. I think it should be fucking Chewie's ship now. Thank you, everybody. You're trying to give me the illusion that some time has passed. Could we stop calling it Han's ship? The fucking title should be in Chewie's name by now. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyhow, and yeah, this is. I think this is supposed to, because Poe and Rey hadn't really met, and then at the end of Last Jedi, when they're all back on the Falcon and everybody's leaving the crate, he walks up and he's like, "Hey, I'm Poe," and she goes, "Rey," and he goes, "Yeah, I know," and you're like, "Oh shit!" And Finn's over in the corner, putting a blanket on Rose, going, I'm stuck with Rose now, man. So it kind of gives us,
damn it, Ryan.
Dude, so Finn, the Star Wars man whore.
So it seems like Ryan, because see, like in the beginning in Force Awakens, you've got this Rey and Finn dynamic, okay? And maybe the spoil sport to that could have been Kylo in some way, maybe in JJ's second movie. But Ryan comes out and keeps Rey away from everyone the whole movie. But when she does get back with everybody, she immediately gets a big old bowl of Poe Dameron in her face, right? and Finn's over there, mopping fucking Rose's brow, like, oh man, damn. So
Well, I'm fucked.
So I think it was funny that the first thing we see in this is these two don't seem to get along at all.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I know some people might think it was like, no, they're just flirting with.
No.
No, they
No,
seem
they
to
fucking hate
He
each other.
seems to hate everything she does and stands for, and why she won't fucking join in. She's got to sit here and train and fuck you, shit. Stop fucking up my droid. Oh, fine, ship will be fine. You fucking book. And she's like, towing ship and fine, the fucking droid's fine. You're just an irresponsible asshole. Blah, blah, blah. And then there's Finn in the middle going, guys, we got some guys, guys.
Where's
So
Rose when I need her?
I thought that was pretty interesting, man. That
not in the movie.
so that's kind of I think that's kind of the first "fuck you, Ryan" thing.
Rose is
no.
Other
this
than
movie.
Snoke.
Hang on, no. I'm not talking about Rose. I'm talking about what I'm talking about here.
Sorry.
The Poe and Rey thing.
I thought the Snoke thing in the tank
Snoke
was
in a
just
jar.
kind of like a.
Well,
Or are we?
that was kind of necessary because
Yeah.
JJ apparently had plans for Snoke, and when Ryan just killed him off, it was like, oh fuck, man, what am I gonna do? So he had to say something like, no, it was Palpatine all along. My thing's still good. It's still good. It's still there.
It's still
It just
valid.
looks a little different, but it's still the same thing. Everything's fine. But this is like what I feel like is the first definite. Oh, you think so? Oh, you think Poe and Rey, huh? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so they kind of made a point to show you that these two argue and shit all the fucking time, and it's kind of a thorn in Finn's side. But anyway, so they get back and they've got information. So they have a big meeting about there's a spy in the fucking First Order, and what was the fucking information they got?
That Palpatine was back.
But didn't
got
Palpatine send out a Snapchat that the whole galaxy saw?
Wasn't it the blueprints of the new
What?
fleet that Palpatine had built?
Oh.
Isn't that what they got?
Yeah, that's what it was. Because they were like, Exegol, where's Exegol? And that's when Rey freaked out and was like, let me go get my study books. And
They got a blueprint of a new Star Destroyer?
Or just
Well, they
like the
got
fleet
something.
or
well,
whatever?
no, they didn't know. Because remember when Kijimi got destroyed, they were all like, from a Star Destroyer.
That's way later, though. I'm
Yeah.
like, what did they get from Mark Hamill voiced guy
Well,
in the Ice Cube?
I still I think Jack is part right. I think that they received word that Emperor is for sure back. He is on a Sith world called Exegol, and he has an entire fleet of Sith
But
destroyers.
I thought that was
which he is calling
broadcast to the
Force.
whole galaxy. Why would that? Why
No,
be secret
remember
information
the
they
opening
got?
crawl was talking about broadcasting messages of revenge.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Okay.
what the crawl said.
So at some point, I was thinking it was this meeting. They say, and Palpatine's going to launch his fleet in 16 hours.
Yeah, it was this one.
Okay. Because I remember that the second time I watched it, I was like, 16. So this whole fucking movie takes place in less than a day.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, when you think about everything that happens. I mean, I know, okay, you're on a planet and it's daytime and you jump in a ship and you light speed to another planet where it's nighttime. Okay, that's fine, but it's just the sheer volume of shit these people will go here, get this, go here, get this, go here, get
Is
this,
there
go
no,
here,
like-
get this. Like
Like
damn.
no one got to take a shit.
That was like
during
nobody
that day.
ate. Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
ate. Nobody showered. Nobody
Is there
said,
no, like,
"Dude, look,
daylight
I gotta
savings
take
time
a."
where like
I gotta
you
take a
lose
wicked dump.
hours going to one galaxy and then you gain
Dude,
hours going one
know,
way.
there's
light
an-
speed. It's
There's
instantaneous.
an intergalactic dateline.
but still, man, it's just
The bathroom's just a rotating door.
that
Yeah.
seems kind of crazy. Now, you had said something about clunky dialogue.
Yeah. As this is going along, it's like
Are we skipping any of your notes? Do you want to say something?
No.
Okay. I mean, these two are just sitting here looking at their knuckles, but you supposedly have some notes. So if I
Right.
move on and you haven't said something, let me
No.
know.
We're at a
Notes
spot
are
where.
up here, baby.
Okay. All right.
No, we're at that spot where.
Okay.
So
You had a problem with
I had a
the
very,
Palpatine dialogue?
when they're
Poe's dialogue here.
yeah, Poe's dialogue in
His
this
little
moment.
monologue.
We don't know how, but Palpatine's back. What
Yeah.
the fuck? How? I just said I don't know how,
Yeah.
but and it's like really fucking.
Hey, I'm looking at the same message you're looking at, all right? I mean,
Yeah.
fuck, why?
it's really like video game dialogue. Palpatine's back. We gotta kill him. That's our objective. Here
but
we
they
go.
do- but
It's
they
the
do
sergeant from Halo 3 telling you got to go find Cortana.
They do say Exegol because
Yeah.
that makes Rey go, "Ooh, I saw something in a book," and she goes and grabs one of those books. So
The sacred
supposedly,
Jedi text.
yeah.
The sacred text.
So supposedly Luke had been looking for this fucking thing, and the trail went cold somewhere, and he had notes. So,
Whoa!
what?
Didn't Luke burn all the sacred Jedi texts?
She got 'em.
in 8?
She took him
she
before.
took 'em.
He didn't
Yeah,
realize
she
she
had-
took him.
If you remember correctly, Luke walks up there in his
Yeah.
fancy robes with
With
the
a torch.
to
Yeah.
set it up, to blow it up, and then he talks to Yoda, and he doesn't get to set it on fire, and Yoda just fucking burns. So he never goes in there to notice that the books are gone. At the
Okay.
end of the movie, Rey opens up a drawer looking for something, and you see the books there. She took them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So my question, and because we find out later, apparently Lando had a part in helping Luke hunt this place down.
Right.
But I'm like, just thinking in the timeline of Luke Skywalker, right?
Right.
So we know that sometime soonish after Return of the Jedi, he goes through Jedi training with Leia, which I
he
assume
trains Leia at some point.
he trains Leia. I would assume that he would train Leia first before going out and finding younglings.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering, and we were told that right after his new Jedi temple got burned down, he went into exile.
Right, but I think maybe before he started that temple, he went around or started training younglings and shit with Ben and all the new generation.
Yeah.
I think he probably spent some time going around finding those books and finding, Jedi artifact type shit to have some basis
But
for doing the training and shit. Because you see him on Octu and he's got all these books and shit, but I don't think they were there. I think he went around and found shit. I
Oh,
think he spent
see, I
some time journeying around to be like, I need to find what I can.
I kind of thought they were there though.
I don't know.
Because I thought in The Force Awakens, Han said something about some people think Luke left to go find the first Jedi temple or something like that.
Well,
right?
eventually, when he disappeared
Yeah.
after the whole Kylo thing, he left to go find the first Jedi
Yeah.
temple, and that's where he was.
So you think that
But I think-
Luke knew about
I
that
think
planet?
after Return of the Jedi, he went around looking for old Jedi temples to find anything he could to scrape together to have some basis for, doing training and getting a new crop of people. So, there's 30 years between Jedi and Force Awakens, so I think we've got some time. There's because Ben,
He's like,
Ben probably didn't start his training until he was 5 or so, and if we're gonna say he's 20 in The Force Awakens, that's
still
only
15
that's
years.
15 years of fucking around before he started training him. That he could have been looking for this and looking for that, and like I said, they can travel at light speed, so you can get a lot done in a day. Anyway, so yeah, I think he spent some time looking for stuff. But anyway, why did you bring that up? Because we were talking about the books, and
I thought that Luke destroyed him.
but he didn't.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Rey's like, oh, Exegol, I found that in this book, and we need one of these fucking triangle things to find it, and blah, blah, blah. But the trail went cold on this crazy-ass planet, Pasana. So they're like, oh, let's go. Or she's like, I'll go. And everybody else is like, we're going with you. Apparently, they've put the fire out on the Falcon now, and it's good to go. So, so everybody goes. Everybody except for R2, which is kind of weird. R2 stays behind.
R2 and Rose.
Yeah, this was funny because
let's take a moment to talk about that.
Rose, come on, Rose, you gonna? No, Leia
gonna
wants
look at
me
the
to stay in the library and look
at
up
the
old
blueprints
destroyer
of the old Star
blueprints.
Destroyers. That's
what?
why I thought.
Why?
It's like, no, JJ doesn't want me to be in the rest of the movie.
Now, from what I understand, originally they planned for her to have a bunch of shit at the Rebel base interfacing with Leia, but apparently they couldn't make the footage work, and that's why you don't get a lot of Rose. That's the excuse / story that the co-writer has said. He said, oh, we had all kinds of shit with Rose, but she was supposed to be talking with Carrie, and it's just the footage we had, it just didn't integrate right, so we had to cut a bunch of it. That's why Rose has a smaller part. That's bullshit. You smell that? You smell that, people? That's Disney bullshit.
What's that? You're peeing on my leg and telling me it's rain?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
That is the second fuck you to Rian Johnson. Oh, you're going to inject this Rose character to fuck up my Finn Ray thing? No. She's grounded. She has to serve detention in the library looking at Star Destroyer plans for the rest of the fucking movie.
Yeah. And you know what? Her parents were fucking scavengers too.
While we're talking about Rose, I read the headline of an article. I didn't want to dive into it. Someone wants to make a Rose series for Disney Plus.
Some guy is saying, I'm going to develop this shit and I'm going to take it to Disney Plus because we're going to have a Rose Tico show. No.
That just sounds like a talk show.
The
Rose Tico show.
There's a bunch of people who've raised like $400 and something million to remake The Last Jedi too. That shit ain't happening either.
Yeah, somebody in Florida has $470 million now off of a GoFundMe account.
Maybe I should do
Now you're talking.
that. But yeah, why? This is a very flat character.
So, anyway, they're all going to piss off to Pisana, okay? So everybody gets on the Falcon. You got Chewie, you got Poe, you got Finn, you got Rey, you got C-3PO, and that's it, right?
BB-8.
They don't. Oh, they take BB-8.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take the Slug.
Yeah.
The
Where
Slug
was
stays
Sluggo
back. He
back?
stays back at the base because he gets hugged by the Hobbit later.
Okay.
Nothing like a good old Hobbit hug.
So they land the Falcon on another fucking desert planet, and
Star Wars, 80% desert.
and they go up. They go up the. They go up this rocky outcropping, and I'm trying to think of what prompts the funny C-3PO moment.
Oh, they look over and they see all this colored smoke, and Poe's like, "What the fuck?" And C-3PO goes,
Oh, it's the such and such.
"Yeah, it's
festival.
the festival.
Yeah,
it only
we
takes
so
place
lucky.
He reads him
once every 42
he,
years."
He reads him the Wikipedia synopsis verbatim, and they all turn around and look at him, and they sit there. There's a great. The timing's perfect because they all look at him for a second, and he goes, and then he turns around. Surely
like,
they're
"Something
looking at
behind
something
me?"
behind me.
Yeah,
What?
that
What?
was great.
What, motherfuckers? That was a funny C-3PO
Is
moment.
this when they landed on the planet? Is this when their landing gear was fucked up?
No. That's later on.
That's when they see the Death Star.
That's on Keth Bear.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
So
cool.
anyway, we're getting there. It's on the same page.
I just couldn't remember. They fucking land the Falcon so many times in this movie. I'm like, which time's the one with
I'm on the
this?
first note of page 2, and it's already an hour and 12 minutes. This is going to be a doozy. Okay.
A 5-hour podcast, everybody.
So apparently they're at this big festival thing, and it's just a bunch of goofy aliens and wackiness going on, and I don't know what.
You
it's
think that was
supposed to be.
CGI or like animatronics?
What?
All
All
the
the little
little-
aliens?
Yeah.
The little kitty aliens sitting
Those
there
are
laughing at the
puppets.
puppet show? Yeah, it's like they're all sitting flat. It's people's hands stuck up through a thing and shit. It's all
that-
puppets.
I
They
thought that was
kind of
cool.
looked like recycled Dark Crystal Age of Resistance
Yeah.
from Netflix.
That's right. That's what it looked like to me too. And I
Y'all
was
got
like,
any extra puppets laying around, man? I'll
Yeah,
take that
sure.
shit off your hands. So did they just go there to look around and then the guy comes up to them, or were they supposed to meet him there?
No, they were just going. To
They
look
were
on
just
their own
going to look
accord.
around. Oh, that's right. He comes up to them and he's like, oh, wait a second.
No, because
She sees Kylo first, doesn't she?
I think they just see troopers, and she senses Kylo.
No.
Well, this is where
They
she
s-
gets that necklace and does the I don't have a
Right.
family
Hang on,
name.
hang on,
I
Right,
think-
but then Kylo takes it
Oh.
from her before they hook up Orlando,
Because
right?
they have the little force dyad thing. They have
Right.
a whole ass conversation.
Right.
She sees where he's.
That's before
up.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then
So-
troopers come in.
So they're walking through, and they do the thing where it's like, Wookiees stand out in a crowd, so keep a low profile, Chewie, and
Keep
Chewie
your
has
head
to
down.
squat down. And she gets Rey gets a necklace from a little alien girl, and she's like, oh, and the little girl is like, oh, I'm such and such,
Translated
and,
from C.
And C-3PO is like, oh, she said her name is such and such, and Rey goes, I'm Rey.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rey goes, I'm Rey, and then blah, 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 and C-3PO goes, oh, she'd really like to know your last name.
I don't
And
have
Rey
one.
goes,
Yeah.
no, I don't have one. I'm just Rey. So, that was kind of stupid.
Just
Oh,
Rey.
it's the planet of surnames. You got to fucking, oh, it's not good enough to know your last name. I want to try to find you on Facebook, so what's your last name?
I am Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, So the little girl gave her a necklace because it's like Mardi Gras or something. Everybody's giving you beads. She didn't even have to show her tits or anything. So then, like right after that or something, Kylo intentionally reaches out to find her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
Where are you?
And they have one of those little conversations where he can see her but not her environment, and she can see him but not his environment. And they're talking, and they have a kind of a little argument. I don't even remember a single fucking thing they talk about.
I just remember the camera kept spinning around, and it would
Right.
switch from her
Right.
area to his, and I thought that was really cool. I was like,
That's
"This is
really
so
good
cool."
with the Kojimi one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know.
what did they say in
He
this?
talks about Palpatine wants you dead, and then he goes into,
Right.
"I offered you my hand once.
Is this
you
the
were
part
going
where
to
he's,
take it."
But is this the part where he says something about you don't know your whole story?
No,
not
that's
being
later.
able to
story.
That's later because he's like he tells her, "I can tell you what happened to your parents," and then that's when they do the Darth Vader mask thing, and he's like,
That's
"Oh,
later.
that's
later.
where-"
That's later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I think that's when what you're talking about happens.
Okay.
Because then he's like, "I'll come tell you myself."
Right.
Yeah.
But in this one, she's very standoffish, and she's very, you're an asshole. You killed Han Solo. Blah blah blah. She's just pissy with him, and so he reaches out and grabs that fucking necklace from her, and that was
yeah,
cool.
and he's still on a Star Destroyer at that point.
Now there's nothing. Now when they talk to each other in Last Jedi, there's no transferring of stuff or anything, is there?
Well, there's that point when you see Kylo staring out the window, and Rey is
there's
standing
some
under
water.
the Falcon, and water drips on Kylo's hand, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Oh
Right.
well.
Okay. But in this one, he grabs that necklace off of her, so you're like, oh, that's just to set up the end. But they can transfer items to each other through the Force. I guess.
And why didn't he grab her throat and just?
Maybe he was reaching for it and she pulled back. I don't know.
Maybe you can only grab items. You can't grab people.
Maybe he was just trying to cop a feel. Who knows?
Maybe. Give us some of
Boy,
that
Ben
second
Solo
base
right
action.
there.
He grabs the necklace, but he doesn't instantly know what it means. Okay, so she's like, "Oh shit, we gotta go" or something, and that's when this guy comes up in a mask and shit and says, "Hey, come with me." And takes him over to his fucking rolling tank or whatever. And you get inside, and it turns out it's Lando. Okay, and Chewie's like, "Oh,
Why is Chewie so fucking happy to
why
see
is
him?
Chewie happy? Well,
Because
okay.
all of Chewie's friends are dying.
Okay, because now this is where Lando said, because they're like,
How'd you find
yeah,
us?
how'd you find us?
The
Blah, blah,
lucky
blah.
can stand
Because they go, oh, it's General Calrissian. General Calrissian? Yeah, we know who General Calrissian is. And he goes, yeah. And they go, we're looking for Exegol. And he goes, of course you are. It's like, how the fuck does Lando know about Exegol? So that's when he tells us,
Lando
yeah,
sent me a transmission.
me and Luke came looking for it 30 years ago, and
You know.
the trail went cold, and I've been here partying ever since, because I'm Lando Calrissian.
You didn't read the comic book series, Lando and Luke?
Yeah, like my tank, motherfuckers? Yeah.
Luke and I stole it.
I'm still wearing the same goddamn clothes. Look at me. So anyway,
Good
yeah.
thing I have a really
had
good
to-
washing machine.
I
Yeah.
had to stretch them out a little, but they fit just real good.
So yeah, we get that. So I guess after Return of the Jedi, for some fucking reason, Luke goes running around Lando looking for Sith artifacts.
They
and
really
shit.
hit it off.
I guess, man. So
Lando, you're a cool guy.
yeah, man, you really handled yourself back there at Jabba's palace. Last time I saw you. So what you been up to? Blowing up Death Stars and shit, being cool, smoking, having a nice cold 45.
Whoa.
And inhaling spice.
Whoa.
Hey, man, you look familiar. Your name Poe Dameron? Didn't you used to sell me some spice?
Can't get it because he's a spice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Lando's that was me. So Lando's oh yeah, we went looking. We followed this fucking guy named Ochi. We followed this guy named
Obi-Wan.
Ochi here, and but the trail went cold, and Luke, being a Jedi, couldn't fucking sense anything apparently, so we left. But anyway, so they're like, well, we're trying to find blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, ship's out there beyond the Dune Sea. Or, out there in the middle of the fucking desert. The whole planet's a desert. Hope you can find it. No, he says, though, it's out past Johnson's Creek or some shit. He gives them some land.
Past the Dune Sea, yeah.
No, it's not the Dune Sea.
They're
He says
not
something
on
else.
Tatooine.
He says something else, but he gives them some sort of a geographical reference so they can kind of go in the right direction.
Yeah, because everybody knows exactly where that is on that
But-
planet.
So then they see they hear TIE fighters, I think. They see that the troopers are coming and shit. So he's like, okay, you guys got to get out of here or whatever. So they steal a couple of
y'all. I gotta lock
they
you out.
steal
Sorry.
a couple of speeders or something
Why couldn't Lando just drive him out there in his giant tank?
because it's too slow.
And
But Poe hot wires some speeders, and Finn's standing there like, how do you know how to do that? What are you doing? What's going on? I need to read your comic book because I don't know nothing about your backstory.
Yeah.
It's from selling
and,
spice to Lando.
Yeah, I think it's kind of see little bantery things like that are pretty cool because it shows that it kind of gives you the hint that time has passed and these people have done stuff together, and it's kind of like you'd think it's kind of like a running thing that Finn is all, how do you know how to do that? What do you do? Yeah. Why don't you ever tell me anything, bro? I thought we were friends, man.
Oh, very cool.
So they take off and they have this speeder chase, and again we get a cool C-3PO thing where the fucking stormtroopers are not on speeder bikes that float. They are on snowmobiles with tank treads. And apparently the back end flips up like an ejector seat, and the stormtroopers have jetpacks.
they fly now.
And so C-3PO's like, they fly now. And Finn goes, they fly now? And Poe's like, they fly now. So,
That scene was great.
damn. Oh, no, this is later. Okay, yeah, so it's an action-y scene. It's a chase, blah, blah, blah. They shoot everybody down.
BB-8 does a cool thing.
What does BB-8 do?
He
BB-8.
taps
He
that
launches
gas
that
bomb.
Oh, yeah,
gas
he
thing.
launches the
Oh
the
yeah,
smoke bomb.
and then
Smoke
Ray
bomb.
delivers that fucking Leia
Never
line.
underestimate a droid.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like in the middle of this action scene, you have to pause to reiterate that Leia said something.
Right.
Anyway.
So they take out all these troopers, and it looks like they're going to get away. And then one superhero stormtrooper with a backpack basically takes them all out, man.
With
He
a triple rocket
he shoots
launcher.
both of the fucking speeders and incapacitates everybody. And
Yeah,
then somebody
and then-
gets a shot off on him, and he flies into a cliff and
it's
explodes.
like, that's because he
He
got
does
cocky. He
loop-de-loop.
was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and tell all my friends I
Damn
hit
straight.
something.
I think
I'm be the one to do it.
it's hard to believe that after that long ass chase, he had that much fuel left in his backpack that he fucking exploded like that. But anyway, okay.
I'm
So-
surprised he had enough fuel to do both all those loop-de-loops and explode.
And explode. That's
You
what I'm
don't know
saying.
how fast space fuel
Yeah,
burns.
man. Yeah, we don't know. That's just a new concept that Ryan Johnson
Yeah.
had to put in. Fuel.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Ruining the
You're
illusion.
ruining the suspension of disbelief. Ships just fly. Deal with it.
Ships run on hope and dreams, man.
That's right.
They run on hopium.
So they all land in this fucking oddly shaped cluster of black sand
Coffee beans.
and the coffee
Yeah.
beans, and they start sinking in. Okay, so it's like quicksand coffee beans.
It's like the thing in Incredible is when he's walking across the catwalk and gets stuck with all the things and it like suffocates him and he wakes up.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
a long time since I've seen The Incredibles.
No, it's not like that.
And it, so apparently they fall. They keep falling, and they end up in this cavern. There's like a cave thing underneath. And who pops up first?
Well,
Finn pops up
No,
first.
Finn's last because he
Poe-
comes out of the
Poe.
hallway.
Poe
Poe's the
pops up first, and he's like
Poe and
hollering for
Chewie.
people. And then Finn pops out, and he's like, "You okay? Yeah, where's Ray? I'm here." And then Chewie falls through. Blah blah. blah. He's like, "You
with
okay?
a massive thud.
You okay? Yeah." And then C-3PO's in the background and goes, "We didn't say my name, but I'm cool too,
I'm all right.
asshole."
Lovely.
They put that whole Poe doesn't like C-3PO thing in because we don't have Han anymore. Because Han always hated C-3PO, so
Yeah.
somebody's got to hate on him. Even though he's at his most charming in this film,
Really is.
somebody has to have a burning hate for C-3PO.
So
Gotta keep it level.
it's at this point when Finn was like, "Hey, I need to tell you something."
Right. Then right as they're sinking, Finn is like,
Ray,
"Ray, I
I
never
gotta
got to
tell
tell you."
Well, I found I even saved the link. So
Look at you go. Look at you go.
yeah, I'm awesome now.
Podcasting pros.
So there was this reporter from IGN, and she was able to go to like the premiere of Rise of Skywalker. And afterwards, she bumped into JJ and was like, "Hey, I only have one question for you because you're gonna get bombarded. What was Finn gonna tell Rey?" And JJ literally just goes, "Finn's force sensitive." It's like, what? And then John Boyega tweeted, "No, Finn wasn't going to say 'I love you' before sinking." So then JJ comes out and says, "Yeah, Finn's force sensitive."
I don't know that I like that. I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with Finn being force sensitive, but why the fuck did it take so long?
How did he know?
I mean, I guess because now he's feeling things in the Force, so he's like, oh shit, I think I might have the Force too.
I thought it was just
But-
me being like, damn, this girl's really attractive.
Yeah, well, no, that's what you think. If you're about to die, you think you're both about to die. You don't say, I always wanted to tell you, I think I might be force sensitive. No. He was going to tell her how he feels about her. And then when they're down in there and she goes, oh, what were you going to say? You said, I never got to tell you. What were you going to say? He goes, oh, I'll tell you later. And then Poe's like, oh, when
I'm
Poe's
not
not around?
around?
Huh? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
So, like, if he was going to tell her that he thought he was force sensitive, why would he be
Hiding
fucking...
that from Poe.
Yeah, why would he be all, I don't want to talk about it in front of Poe? It doesn't make any fucking sense, okay? I think they just fucked it up and forgot to put it in or some shit, and it just went by the wayside.
I bet it was going to be in JJ's second movie, and then Ryan was like, "No."
That's what I'm saying. Those two were supposed to have something. You could tell from The Force Awakens. But then Ryan screwed that up, and then at the end was like, ooh, maybe she'll hook up with Poe. And JJ was like, no, she will not. She will not hook up with Poe. But then, it looked like he was planting a seed for something in this movie, but then it just never materialized. It just got scrapped or something, and they had already filmed shit where those lines were in there, and like, well, we can't. I don't know. Maybe people won't notice. Maybe they'll forget it. I don't know. Give them some more Star Destroyers. That shit'll look really cool.
But make sure they're busting out of the ground still.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. We'll do some crazy shit with it. Anyway.
This time, this one will rise out of a volcano.
Yeah.
And in slow-mo.
So that didn't really get resolved anyway. So they go around a couple corners, and they find Ochi's first they find his Mercedes under there. And C-3PO knows it was his because it's got the Sith hood ornament, like you were saying, is on the Pelican case that had the GPS unit in it.
The Wayfinder.
Yeah. I almost said holocron, but I wanted to make a joke, so I said GPS. But the first thing that came to my mind was holocron. So they find that, and then they go around a corner, and they're like, well, maybe he got out. And Rey's like, no, he didn't. And so the dude's skeleton's there.
Bones. I don't like bones.
So, yeah. Who was all...
It was Poe.
Poe's all scared of bones and shit. This guy's been everywhere and done everything, but he's scared of bones.
Bones.
Runner,
I don't
afraid
like
of
bones.
Yeah. So then she just happens to turn around and kick something, and she finds this Sith dagger, a knife.
It wasn't even a vibroblade.
A knife. It looked like something you buy at a Renaissance fair. It was like
Yeah.
the least functional knife ever, and it's got inscriptions on it. Okay.
Well,
This
how
can't
long
be
do you
some
think...
heavy-duty fucking artifact if it's got inscriptions of shit that the Emperor said around the Return of the Jedi.
True. Okay, because
I
I was
mean-
gonna say, well, how long do you think it was down there?
Not very long.
Okay.
It had to have been this dude's dagger because it's got the coordinates to Exegol on it.
And he only sent that out after.
Or
Return
it's
of
got
the
the
Jedi?
it's got the coordinates to find
The Wayfinder.
Wayfinder on it. So the Wayfinder wasn't where it is until
No.
after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, because
so
it's
this
in-
thing can't be more than like 25 years old.
That's true.
But it's a knife?
Damn.
It's like a plain metal blade knife?
Not a-
What? This is just
Not a
a
hard
fucking fetch quest, man. It's just another fucking step
Plot
in the
dagger.
fucking it's just dumb.
And the plot thickens.
And if you thought it was, if you think it's dumb now, just wait, it gets dumber. Okay, so when she picks it up, she has kind of a memory flashback thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this the point where she sees a lot or just a little?
Just
No.
a little
Just
bit.
a little.
What does she see at
I
this
don't
point?
think she has a flashback.
Not here?
No, I think she hears screams and she says terrible things have
Okay.
been done with this. She doesn't see the flashbacks, I think, until she's talking to Kylo.
Right. No, at some point she gets like a whole flashback where we see her parents and shit.
Yeah.
Or
I think
or is that later on with Palpatine? No, it's all before that.
I think
She
it's
knows
with
all that
Kylo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she sees. Hey, we'll get to that stupid fucking shit. So, okay, so she doesn't see a lot, so I can take this whole circled part and put it down here. Okay, I couldn't remember how much she saw at that point, but I remember her saying the line, you know, oh, horrible things have been done with this stubby, non-sharp looking dagger. So, this is the point.
And they're like, there's no way out.
This is the point where they find the big snake.
Serpent!
Thanks, Poe.
I'm gonna
3PO.
I'm gonna blast it. No, don't blast it.
And for some
Blast it.
reason, because they thought it would be cool to put this in.
Oh, yeah. 3PO does. Okay. Sorry.
For some reason, they thought it would be funny to put, cool to put this in. The snake is hurt for some reason. I don't know what the snake was fighting. We didn't get to see that part of the
It
movie.
looked like it was fighting Wolverine
it
because it had like
probably-
3 slashes.
It probably would have been tremendously
He
exciting.
was fighting the dude that Luke was coming after, and he stabbed him with the.
That was a long time ago.
It's you know.
Okay, so here's a wounded snake down in the cave. It's the thing that's been making these tunnels and shit. And so Rey gets the bright idea, hey, I'll just heal it. Okay?
I'll just talk to animals real fast.
Now, here's a fucked up thing, okay? The snake's coiled up. I'm going to try to use a visual representation here for you guys, but the podcast listeners will just have to follow along because they've seen the movie too, and they'll remember what the fuck I'm talking about. So the snake's coiled. Imagine I'm the snakehead here, okay? And you guys are the rest of our hero party. You guys are all over here, right? She steps over the snake. So she's inside the coils. And she looks down and she sees that it's got some scratches here, right? So she squats down and puts her hand on it. And we see it heal up. And all the you motherfuckers on the other side go, how the fuck could they see what the hell she was doing?
Man, they were probably just thinking, "Holy shit, Ray's just a badass,
I
man!
mean,
Going in there and petting
Look,
a
she's
snake."
petting a snake. No, they
Well,
all
Finn's force sensitive.
force
so he-
sensitive, so
yeah.
he could see it from the other
Yeah,
side
I
of the
mean, they
room,
just-
I guess.
They just explained it. To
It was
No,
actually the
no.
snake's bathroom, and there was a mirror behind it that you couldn't see, but they could see what was
I
happening.
was gonna say the serpent's eyes are reflective, and they looked in the
All
eyes. and
6
so-
of his tiny little eyes, the size of tiny marbles. Yes.
Yeah,
size of raisins.
So anyway, she heals the snake, and the snake's like, "Hey,
Deuces.
thanks. Check out my back door here." And he moves out of the way, and they're, "Oh, cool, look, an exit."
a convenient exit.
I thought that was kind of fucking stupid
That whole scene, yeah.
because it was just so that she could have a line where she goes, and I think she says it to BB-8.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Nah,
a
I thought it was 3PO.
force.
No.
no,
it
it's
was
just
BB-8.
energy transfer, a little bit
Like
of
gave it to
life
the
from
mind?
me to him through the force, or
I know
from
he
the
would have done the same.
He would have done, yeah. And I'm like, did we need that?
Whole
No.
time, like rubbing her hands.
I thought
like
it would
hurt.
have just been cool if she did it to Kylo later, and it was just kind of a whoa. But
No,
they had
I
to put this fucking thing in here. Okay, they could have made it something that had to do with Leia, tie that in somehow, but no. We get a snake. Oh, she can do that. That's a thing that can happen now. Whatever.
Well, I think that is why they moved up that Mandalorian.
Well, of course they
episode.
wanted
Yeah.
wanted you to see it in the Mandalorian
because
first.
Establish that
because
first.
people were going to have that exact reaction. Oh, I guess you can just fucking heal people.
Well, now when we saw it in the Mandalorian,
now. Yeah.
I made the big spiel about, well, what, fucking Jedis can heal people? Is that a fucking common thing?
Oh yeah, and
What
that
the
was
hell?
after Force Awakens.
And then
came
I
out,
thought-
or this came out, and I kept looking at
And then,
you.
and then I kept saying, okay, does maybe it's just Yoda's species? So that's when I was like, okay, well, let's think back of all the shit Yoda's done. Has Yoda ever had an opportunity to do it and didn't? Or has he ever been around somebody who's gravely injured and could have healed them? Or, you know, I was thinking maybe it was just a Yoda species thing, but no. Apparently, any Jedi can do this shit now.
Well, that,
Not then when I was a kid.
Maybe it was
and there was a set of parameters and fucking rules, but now, yeah.
Maybe this is just a spell that is only written down on actual paper that only Rey and Luke have read.
well,
Baby Yoda can do it.
why would they be the only ones that read
Well, but
it
his
too?
species is force
Maybe.
sensitive.
But-
Blah, 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 blah.
Maybe
So-
if you rub his head for good luck.
Stop making excuses for the movie, Andrew. It's awful.
I'm gonna do a jump forward, then a jump back.
Okay.
So, we see Rey stab Ben later on, right?
Right.
With his own lightsaber,
Right.
and then heal it.
Right.
So it's like Qui-Gon also got stabbed.
Yeah,
So how come Obi-Wan couldn't
Well,
just,
that's what I'm
hold on, I
saying.
got this. I
That's
got
what
you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If you go back to instances where somebody was wounded and dying, and it was a Jedi who could have healed them, they
I
just...
argued the same thing because when this came out, me and my buddy JT argued about this.
Shout out, JT.
Shout out JT.
Shout out JT.
Shut up,
he-
JT.
I said, well, Qui-Gon got stabbed the same way that, what he just said. And JT was like, Obi-Wan was still a Padawan. He didn't know. He didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I
Who,
see-
is
Rey
Rey a
is-
Jedi fucking master or
She
something?
has the secret text.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan was trained at a temple full of fucking Jedi masters and lore
Yes.
and
But
all
they didn't have
that
the Jedi
shit.
text.
Whoa,
They didn't have the text.
How do you know?
Remember,
That's where Luke got him.
Qui-Gon was the first guy to figure out how to be what we assume is a Force ghost. Because
Right.
remember, like
Revenge
Yoda and Obi-Wan were like, "Oh, this shit is like hot shit." So I mean,
So if
you
he
know.
invented that, you think he invented the healing too?
No,
Maybe he
I'm
was
just
just
You think
saying.
it just came
Hey,
later?
I'm just saying it
Yeah.
probably
Oh, okay.
takes time, yeah, because they haven't been able to do the Force
so who
ghost
taught it to
thing
Baby
the
Yoda?
whole time.
Who taught it to Baby Yoda?
Well, maybe his fucking species just knows how to do everything.
Well, but that's
The Mary Sue's.
Then why didn't Yoda do it
then
beforehand?
Yoda would know, and Yoda would be able to tell everybody.
Yeah,
And Yoda
everybody
was
would
there
be.
when Anakin got his arm chopped off.
Well,
I don't know
that's
if
a
Yeah,
it
but
dismemberment.
who wanted to put that back on?
That's a dismemberment, man. You can make it a nub, but not much else.
I can seal the wound, but your arm is gone.
Well, you can bring back the dead.
Yeah, it's all about transferring a life force and shit. See, man, this is the fucking problem. When I was a kid, you
was
could
simple.
You could trick people into thinking something. You could move shit with your mind, and you could fight with a fucking laser
You
sword.
could choke.
That's like a
And
telekinesis thing. That's it. That's all there was. When you start throwing in all this extra shit, it just ruins everything that came before.
Damn midichlorians.
So it's like, why they gotta throw all this extra shit in? It's like all right, JJ, goddamn it! It's like in fucking Star Trek Into Darkness, the whole thing with Khan's blood. Oh, now we can bring people back from the dead. So now there shouldn't be any tension going forward in any other movie, because now if anybody's ever in danger or gets hurt, we can all just have a fucking syringe of Khan's blood and inject that shit and come back from the fucking dead, right? So
Right.
now everybody's immortal now, right?
Right.
Look, you can't, just because you write yourself into a corner doesn't mean you can just Deus
whatever
Ex
you want.
Machina that shit and say, oh, I got a magic thing, I got a magic thing, I got a magic thing. It's like, I don't really have an interesting fucking story, so I'm just going to give everybody crazy-ass force powers that haven't existed since the fucking saga started, but I'm just going to make this shit up as I go, and everybody's going to go, that looked really cool, JJ, when those fucking Star Destroyers came up, and the Emperor dubstepped the fucking fleet. Shut up. See, this is the problem. They didn't have a plan. They didn't have a good story to tell. They just want to show you a bunch of flashy fucking shit and make shit up.
So we got a giant meme. That's what it was.
What meme?
Oh. Well, okay, so on
Yeah,
TikTok,
Jack.
they do a lot of the bass boosted
On
thing.
what?
TikTok.
What the fuck's TikTok?
It's like Vine.
It's like Vine. It's a little video app, and a lot of things are all bass boosted.
Didn't Vine go out of business?
Vine got bought by Instagram.
But anyway, why did somebody think it was a good idea to make a new one then?
I don't know. But
Anyway.
the videos have a lot of bass boosted songs to them,
Okay.
and that's what it was like.
Anyway, yeah. So
Anyway, no one cares.
where were
Yeah,
we?
that's why I just gave
Okay,
up.
the healing thing. All right.
Yeah.
Stupid. So anyway, they get out of the fucking hole that the snake shows them.
Oh shit, we're still at this part in the
And
movie.
they,
Yeah.
oh,
God.
dude, we've got,
Dude, it's 9 o'clock.
we got like 3 pages. Wow, you gotta be somewhere?
No, I mean I have to
Bowling
work in the
tournament?
morning, but
I do too.
oh, you work right in there.
I know. Anyway, so you're the one who was like, I'm gonna be late.
But he wasn't.
So they find this ship they've been looking for, this Ochi guy's ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all right, and this is where it's gonna be fucking 1,000 questions. This little section here that's 4 lines is gonna take another half an hour.
Yeah. Squeaky wheel.
So they find this ship, and Ray's like, I remember that. I've seen that ship before. So this is the ship she saw in Force Awakens in the
Yeah.
flashback
She got its plates.
when she's.
Yeah, it's A113 are the plates. You
That's
know?
supposed to be her parents ditching her there. Okay, this is supposed to be the ship, so we naturally assume that was her parents' ship. But now, no, it's this Ochi guy's ship. Now this Ochi guy was looking for her.
Yeah.
So why would he leave somewhere that she clearly is? Was she on the Jakku with her parents and he caught her parents there and they said,
To take us instead of her.
no,
he was sent for
Palpatine
her.
wanted her.
Yeah.
So, because there's that stupid fucking scene with Steve Palpatine and his unnamed wife, where Ochi's there and she goes, "Well, she's not on Jakku, that's for damn sure." Yeah, that ought to throw him off the trail. Don't go looking on Jakku because she ain't there. So, yeah, she's like, I remember that ship. Why would she remember the ship? We all assume that was her parents leaving, but that's not her parents' ship. That's Ochi's ship, right? Are we gonna agree on that?
Has anybody watched The Force Awakens to make sure it is the same
It's
ship?
the same fucking ship.
Okay.
And she says, "Oh, I've seen that ship. I remember that ship. I've seen that ship before." So,
Why would Ochi be leaving?
right,
As-
if she's there,
As Simon Pegg is holding on
Right.
to baby Rey.
did he have the parents with him? Did he just kill them? Because he kills them with that knife.
So
Right.
are we saying that this for sure is Ochi's ship and
Yeah,
not?
it's supposed to be Ochi's ship, but we were all assuming that it was Rey's parents in that ship because she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's a ship."
Why can't it be Rey's parents' ship?
So
No one knows who
so
they
what?
are.
Ochi took the ship,
All
then?
yeah.
Because they were like, "We were looking for Ochi's ship and we found it." And
Well, all they
Well,
know is
isn't
that
that
Ochi was the
Ochi's
last person
speeder?
flying it.
Whose speeder is that?
That's
then?
his,
That's
and it was
Ochi's
probably
speeder?
on the plane, yeah.
so when he went and picked it up, he got it out of his garage and put it on the ship and then flew around looking for stuff.
Fuck, I don't know.
I'm just saying it doesn't make a lot of sense, Andrew. Is what the
Yeah.
point
Need
I'm
go
trying to
get Jay
make.
Leno so
Yeah.
they can
Well,
go
because
roll
I was
around in it.
thinking, because when I watched it the first time, I was like, "Oh, that's the ship. That must be her parents' ship." Blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And when they get on, and BB-8 wakes up that little droid, my immediate Dio, who speaks English, by the way, my first thought was that must be her parents' droid. Holy shit, it's Rey's family dog. And then when I saw it speak English, I thought, "Oh shit, this little droid will be able to tell her all kinds of shit about her parents."
Nope.
But no.
It's Ochi's.
Yeah, it was
And Ochi's an
Ochi's.
an
And he was an
fuck.
abusive father. So when she tries to pet him, he goes, "No, thank you."
No.
So, clearly, it's the bad guy's shit. It just doesn't fucking make any sense, man.
Unless Rey's parents were abusive fucks to their animals.
I guess they were assholes. They were just. I mean, hell, they sold her.
I mean, they're a fucking Palpatine.
I mean, money changed hands. See, I just have all these questions. It's all nothing but question marks.
Just
Why do I
just,
remember the
just
ship? Was
Suspend
it
your
the
belief.
parents'
Yeah,
ship? Was it
just-
Ochi's ship? Whose fucking ship was it? Was Dio there?
Whose ship is
was
this?
Dio? Whose ship is this? I don't fucking know. Anyway,
Just let it all. Just
so
just let
Poe
it
is
wash
like,
over
"Let's
you.
fire this fucking ship up and get out of here." And she's like, "Okay, wait a second. I
gotta
I'll
go
be
do
right
something."
back. I gotta go take a squat behind this boulder because none of us has had a piss for 8 hours." So she walks off into the flat plane, right?
Because she feels Kylo.
And John Boyega, I think, takes this opportunity to shout "Ray!" one of the 18 times he says it in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And so
Wait.
so Finn's standing there yelling at her, and Poe's on the ship, and I guess he gets it
Tell her
fired
we
up.
gotta go.
First.
So what?
First, remember they were
Oh,
like
yeah, he was
they were
like,
like Chewie,
"Chewie,
go
go."
get Rey.
That's what I was about to fucking say.
That happens first.
I know.
Well, you were just
Ray had walked out,
yeah.
and Finn is standing there, and Poe's on the ship, but he gets it fired up, so he's like, "Oh, go get her because we need to go because Poe got the ship to work." Okay,
Yeah.
so Chewie goes out and goes the wrong fucking way around the corner, and the
Yeah.
Knights of Ren grab him.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
Knights of Ren are fucking useless, man.
These guys, they're just fucking stormtroopers that went to Hot Topic. Yeah, Finn is, I guess he's looking for Rey, but then he turns around over his shoulder and he sees that the bad guy's got Chewie. That was really quick. He's all chained up and everything, and they're fucking looking through his
Scanning him
wallet,
in,
and yeah, he's just like, damn. And they're already processing
Show us
him
your
onto the
papers.
ship.
Oh, what was the thing in the chapter 7 of the Mandalorian that they wanted? The
Chain code.
Chain code, yeah.
They're scanning Chewie's chain code.
Yeah, that's it.
They've frozen all of his credit cards. Yeah. So, I guess about this time, Kylo Ren's fucking TIE fighter is showing up. And Finn keeps yelling, Rey, Rey, they got Chewie. And maybe that was after she had, because Kylo flies at her. It's the scene from the trailer, and she cuts the wing off, and he crashes. And about that time, I guess Finn is like, they got Chewie. Yeah, he's in that transport right there.
And finally,
So it starts taking off.
this is a force power I've wanted to see for a long time.
Somebody try to grab a ship.
Yeah, because you see that in a ton of fan films and video games, and now finally it's
I
like,
saw Yoda do it in Empire Strikes Back. He lifted a whole fucking X-Wing.
no, that X-wing was dead. I mean, when it's mid-flight.
Okay, yeah. So they're like, Chewie's on that transport right there. The one I'm pointing at right there.
Not to be confused with
Not
another
to
one
be
that could be
confused
30
with
feet
the
the other
other
way.
transport over there, because I looked at him and I clearly saw it, but I didn't see the other one right next to it, even though it was in the same shot. I didn't get to look at the director's monitor to see that they included it, so I'm just going to say he's on that transport right there. So
Can
she
I be
reaches
more
her,
specific?
So she reaches her hand up and she's trying
Without
to grab
any
it.
hesitation,
Yeah,
man.
and
It's
she knew she could do it because she read the fucking script. So she can do anything. So she reaches up to grab that fucking thing. She's trying to pull it down and shit. About this time, Kylo walks away from his ball of wreckage, and he walks over and he reaches his hand up. And I don't know what he was trying to do because
He was trying to
you would
push
think
it.
it would have started to fly away pretty decent. But no, it just sits there and it kind of goes back and forth between the two of them.
Like levels out. I think he was pulling it too. I was like, why are you pulling
Yeah.
it? Shouldn't you be sending
Well,
it back to
so she
where it
gets
came
mad. I felt like he was kind of pulling it towards himself, and
Yeah.
she was pulling it towards her.
From? Yeah.
Because otherwise, if he was helping it, you'd think it would have flew away. But no.
Because it just like, it was
And so,
crooked and then it leveled
and so
out when
she
he grabbed
gets
on.
mad, and she taps to her anger.
Zap.
And she fucking shoots that thing with lightning, and she kills Chewbacca.
See, the thing that sells it for me
It's her.
Yeah, her reaction.
Her reaction
Yeah.
made me completely forget that he's in the cockpit of the Falcon with Lando,
In the
and
trailer.
I legitimately thought Chewie was dead
Yeah.
because of her. She was just Chewie.
Because
like
Game
that.
of Thrones told you
Yeah.
that sometimes they film extra shit and put it in
Yeah.
the trailer, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't end up in the movie.
Yeah, dude, I was like,
Well,
man, her
look,
reaction
when
was
this
on
happened-
point.
Look, she's a good actress in a shitty movie.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
John Boyega's reaction. I was like, fuck John Boyega.
Oh,
He went, no! Like he got denied
Yeah.
for a cheaper car insurance rate or something. You know? No!
When
It's no
the
Obi-Wan.
transport blew up the first time we saw it, Andrew and I like turned to him and was like, oh, Scott's gonna fucking hate this movie.
He did.
Okay, so yeah, everybody's all bummed out, and he's like, we gotta go! So they get on the little ship, and, a minute later, everybody has dry eyes, and nobody gives a shit.
Can't we
because,
at least
hey,
like, loot the wreckage?
Look a cute droid. Hey, what's your name? JJ. And,
Deal.
yeah.
Nah, not yet.
So, about, I guess, on this ship, well, no, wait a second. Did C-3PO look at it in the cave,
Yeah.
or is it on the ship when he looks at it and reads it?
At the cave, because Chewie had it, so it's in.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because Chewie picked
It's
it
in
up.
his
Off
memory.
And
bank.
we forgot to mention this because I was going off about the healing shit and all the fucking subverted romantic thing. Okay, so when they got that knife in the cave, C-3PO had read it because he said it was Sith inscription. And he read it and he knows what it says, but apparently they passed a law that said that Sith can't be transcribed. So he's...
His programming.
Right. They passed a law, so droids are programmed to where they can't transcribe it. They can't tell anybody what it says. So so they're on this ship and they're leaving and Chewie's dead and they're like, well, fuck, what are we gonna do? And at that point, C-3PO says something like, because they're like, Chewie had the knife in his bag. Fuck, he had my iPod. God damn it. And so...
If only I had backed up all of your songs to the iCloud.
So C-3PO's like, yeah, that only lives in my memory banks now.
And they all just...
Poe's like, wait a second, you mean you got it in your head? He's like, well, yeah, but I mean, I can't tell you, but it's there. And so Poe's like, well, I know this motherfucker who cracks droids open and fucking rips shit out of their head. Let's go there. And everybody's like, yeah, cool, let's do that.
Except 3PO.
And C-3PO's like, hey, wait a fucking second. So anyway, so they're off to Kijimi, a new planet, okay?
Oh, boy.
I thought this place looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
And it was like snowy, and the troopers had some cool outfits.
Yeah,
It
it was like a cross between like the Hoth.
yeah, but a little more
Yeah.
updated and shit. It was they were pretty cool outfits.
They even gave 3PO a hoodie.
They did.
Yeah, it's like
They
they
gave
all
3PO
showed
a
up and they all
parka.
had winter coats. Where'd they get those?
They were just on the ship.
The ship that was in the desert for 30 years just so happened to have a bunch
Gotta have
of
an
winter
emergency
coats.
pack.
They went to Droid's warehouse and
I guess.
Or they
man.
stopped an errand down, hit the winter sale, you know.
They hit a Target when they got to Kijimi, and they were like, "Hey, you got any coats?" And they're like, well, "We're about to close." And they're like, "Look, we'll be real quick, okay?
just tell us where they are.
Just tell us where
and
they are, and I'll
Tell
fucking
us
be
where the
right back."
jackets are.
Look, you can hold my driver's license. I'm not gonna dick around. Let me just go.
You can hold my chain code. I'll be right back.
So they get there, and I guess, and so supposedly Poe spent some time on this planet, and he's looking for a friend of his that can do this shit. And they run into a fine ass bodysuit Carrie Russell, and supposedly there's some history there, okay? Because she knows him, and they used to work together or some shit. And she's like super pissed, and you know she would just rather kill him right there. And so she kind of has a scuffle with Rey. And, you know...
She's like, all right, you kicked my ass. I
you're
like
okay.
you.
You're okay. You're all right. So she takes them to go see the little lumpy puppet dude, okay?
I think it's funny the little lumpy puppet is actually Moaning Myrtle. When
Yeah.
I found
Yeah.
that out, I was like, what?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook the other day. I was like, what?
What?
Yeah. So this guy's going to break into C-3PO's head and pull the information they want. But it's going to erase his memory, okay?
And they're like, fuck it, do it.
Yeah. So
Run it.
So they have that touching little thing where he's like, "I want to look at my friends that I've known for 3 months, one last time."
I wish that was like a run of like memory tapes. Like you
Yeah,
see his
if
eyes
he was
flashing.
jiggling through all of his memory, and he was trying to
Looking at
soak
Luke
it all
and
in
all
one
that,
last time.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but
Looking at
because he doesn't know these
Obi-Wan and-
fucking guys.
Anakin.
As good memories as he have of Poe. Fuck that guy.
He doesn't know Anakin.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
does.
right. Well, no, because his
They-
memory gets wiped.
They wiped his
Oh.
memory after Revenge of the Sith.
That's
Yeah.
right. Shit.
Because you can't have loopholes.
But
So-
R2's memory didn't get wiped.
No,
Yeah.
didn't. So, while they're working on this,
Whoa.
What?
So this is sorry. So this is gonna be something that kind of fucks shit up. So if R2 had kept save files of 3PO's mind,
Right.
why after his mind got wiped in episode 3 or at the end of episode 3 before 4 did R2 not be like, hey fucker, come here, bloop, there's your memory back?
hey,
I got you.
you know what a big pain in the ass C-3PO is, and nobody knows better than R2, the motherfucker who's got to listen to that sumbitch all day. I think he was fine with C-3PO being none the wiser about anything that took place during the prequels.
Yeah, R2 laughed when Jimmy Smith was like, and have the protocol droid's mind wiped, and R2 giggled a little bit.
So anyway, so while little Babu Frig is cracking open C-3PO's head, Poe goes outside with Carrie Russell. And we get the one singular shot where her little lens goes down and you can see her eyes and verify that, in fact, it is Carrie Russell there on set in a costume for one shot. The rest of that shit is voiceover and a body double. She showed up for one day of work. I guarantee it. And she probably got 0.5% on the back end, so she's going to make $9 million for that.
That's some James Earl Jones shit right there.
Well, you know, that's good. It's good to know JJ, man. It's good to be friends with him.
But you could get like a whole Spice Runner or like Disney Plus show now with Carrie Russell.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
that'd be cool.
they're up there talking and being sentimental, and she shows him this fucking coin she got out of a box of Imperial cereal. That's supposedly
Box of Cracker
it's a
Jacks.
fucking magic thing that gives you clearance to go anywhere. Remember in the old days in the original trilogy when they had to steal codes and shit like that, and Bothans had to die for some fucking numbers and shit? Not anymore, because now we've got trinkets that lets you fucking go anywhere, and it's a Little Dallas multipass for Imperial officers. So she's got one, and she says, "I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to Vegas, baby." And then she says, "Come with me." It's like a fucking minute ago you were gonna shoot the guy in his nutsack, and now you're like, "Come with me." Fuck. Really? Come on.
Yeah.
Were you gonna
Also,
say something?
just super convenient that apparently these discs are so fucking rare.
Right.
But Ochi's ship just so happened to have a little disc dock,
Right,
and
yeah.
they knew exactly where it was.
Yeah, I was like, that's convenient as fuck. Fits right in there, doesn't it? Yeah. So, so they're up there talking, and she completely does a 180 and all this shit. And Poe loves the rebellion, so he's not gonna go with her. And about this time, or right around, pretty soon, Kylo figures out where they're going somehow.
Ray steps outside,
Ray goes outside,
and then that's when
Because they're already
Kylo-
there. They're already there.
oh, I forgot to say earlier, he had the necklace analyzed, and that's how they knew. That's how he knew she was on Pasana.
Yeah, but they're already
Okay,
there
so anyway.
on Kojima when they get there.
I know.
Kajimi.
No, that's just like a local Imperial group. It's not Kylo's guys, okay? When Kylo shows up, when his ship shows up, that's when she goes, Chewie, because she can sense Chewie on the
okay,
ship,
you're right,
okay?
yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of how Kylo knew to go to Kajimi. How did he know she was on Kajimi?
Well, during that point, he drops the head of the fucking...
Didn't the fucking Knights
No,
of
that was
Ren
later.
trail them there? That's right.
They did.
They were
yeah,
hiding in
yeah,
an
yeah,
asteroid
that's right.
field talking on Ochi's ship, and then they take off for Kajimi.
And then that little
And then the
Sith-
little
They
ship.
pull
Okay,
up
so the
Boba
Knights of
Fett.
Ren followed them there, and that's how Kylo knows. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm trying to think of where this all lies in the fact that they get the stuff out of C-3PO's head. That might be after this, but... yeah, for some reason Rey goes outside and she has another interface with Kylo. And this time they fucking fight and shit.
Badass.
Or no.
yeah.
No, it's not this one. She's on the planet
Oh yeah, no, they
and
fight
he's
when
up there.
she's up.
and so
reversed.
yeah, but so at some point she senses that Chewie's on the ship, so she goes back in and she's like, oh God, Chewie, we gotta fucking go, and we gotta fucking save him. And they get the information from C-3PO that's like a coordinate. Oh, you gotta go here and to this place, and blah 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 is where the holocron is. Did I say that right? Wayfinder, where the Wayfinder is.
Holocron.
Now, when
It
they
should say
leave
a holocron.
this planet and they go on to Kylo Ren's ship, do they take Ochi's ship again, or do they take something different?
They take Ochi's.
They
and
take
they
Ochi's
put
ship.
the little magical disc in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they actually went back to Ochi's ship or not, or if they just took one.
Hang on.
that was closer.
They have Ochi's ship. The Imperials captured the Falcon on Pasana and
Right.
towed it to the. That's why it's
That's-
on the Star Destroyer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the three TIE fighters.
Yeah.
pulling it
No
in.
tractor beams, huh?
Yeah.
I guess the budget these days. No tractor beams. Anyway, yeah, so she says Chewie's alive and he's on that ship and blah, blah, and they get the information and then C-3PO wakes back up and he's like, hey, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations. And Poe's like, oh, this is going to suck. So they're like,
get your metal ass in gear.
so like, come on, we got to go. We got to save Chewie. And Kerry Russell goes, here, take the only thing I'm keeping alive for. Just take it. Go on, take it, assholes that I don't even care about. And you know, Poe's like, come with us. And for some reason she says, no.
Yeah, fuck you.
Why? You know, after all, I am taking your reason to live. Why don't you come with us? No, got plot convenience. I got to stay here. Whatever the fuck. So she stays there. Yeah, okay, whatever. And they go. So they fly Ochi's ship.
Not before Poe tries to run his game. He's like, can I get a kiss?
Yeah, is that where he says it?
Yeah.
Can I kiss you? Yeah.
Or is that beforehand when they're sitting out and they're talking about her
No,
plans to
that's
Vegas?
later. It's when he's about to leave. Can I kiss you? She says, get the fuck out of here. Take my fucking reason to live and get out of here. So, yeah, they put the fucking Six Flags token in the magic token receiver. And, yay, cool. We're in an Imperial ship now. We can just fly up there. So they fly up there and park wherever the fuck they want. Two troopers walk over and Rey instantly murders them.
No need for stealth
The
here.
moral ambiguity is out the window in Star Wars now. So yeah, it's Poe and Rey and Finn, and they go off on the ship to find Chewie.